Hey folks, how you guys doing? Hope you're all having a great day today. I've had such a really good past whole week or so, a little bit more than a week. I've had family visit. Today is, what is today? Today is Thursday when I'm recording this, late Thursday. I actually have 20 minutes to get this thing edited, or not edited, but recorded, so hopefully I can get it all in one take. But last Thursday, so a week ago today, I started in on my dad's coffee table and 2 end tables project. Turned out great, and it was a very informative experiment in productivity and CNC. So I took 2 days to do the complete build from rough sawn lumber to sanded and ready for finish. 2 days. I think that's pretty darn cool, especially considering that it's quality joinery. It was nice mortise and tenon joints. I mean, it's built to last, so it's not like your project that you can, 2x4s and pocket holes where you're just screwing something together. It was really fun to experiment with that. I've got to edit that, and the reason I haven't edited that, even though that was last Thursday and Friday, it's been a week since then, right? That's because family came into town. I had my dad and my sister and her 2 boys, my 2 nephews, come in late last Friday, and then the next day, Saturday, my other sister and her son came in. So that was Saturday. So for, what is it? I have it wrote down here. So for 6 nights in a row, we had 7 people in the house. And for 5 nights in the middle of that, we had 9 people in the house, which we're a small family, just me, my wife, and my daughter, and we're a pretty quiet household. And to have all them people in here, yes, it was fun, but wow, is it loud to have that many people, that many fun family members around. And I just had so much fun. It's the older I get, the more I love spending family time. Everybody matures, and we all understand life a little bit better. You know how all that goes, and man, it's just so much fun connecting with my dad and my sisters. They don't live in the same state I do. My oldest sister lives in Texas, and my dad and my other sister live in Michigan. So it's we're in 3 different states, all like 600 miles apart, something like that. But anyway, it's just been so much fun the past few days, especially considering that my 3 nephews were here, which was 11, 6, and 3, if I'm not mistaken. So 11 years old, 6, and 3 years old. And all 3 of them loved being in the shop. Both of my sisters loved being in the shop. My dad loved being in the shop. It was so much fun. So much fun that during this trip, we made 22 projects. I worked more with my family in town than I have in a little bit of time previous to that. But it was so much fun. We had the CNC machine was the biggest hit for all of the adults. All of the adults loved the CNC machine just because it's so quick. You can go from idea, from concept to reality so quickly. And a lot of the projects were CNC based, but the younger guys, the 3 boys, all 3 of them, you know where they stayed? They stayed right at those 2 workbenches the whole time. Absolutely loved cutting stuff up. Just no rhyme or reason, just using a handsaw, cutting stuff up. The youngest boy, he's 3 years old. No, the middle one, he's 7 years old. Nicholas loves Japanese pull saw. And what was it? It was I forget the number. It's the little itty bitty Stanley trimming plane. This guy. Do a little circle over here. This little plane, he loved it. It was so much fun. So anyway, we incorporated them with some stuff. Both of the boys, the younger boys, went home with a toolbox, and that was pretty cool. They got to, we cut it out on the CNC because it's kind of a handful at those age ranges, keeping everything organized as far as activities. So they're all over the place. So I went ahead and had the parts cut out, and then they set them up on here on the assembly table, and we glued it together. And we're using basically CNC box joints, not like true finger joints, but box joints CNC style, and glued it together. And I let them use the trigger of the pin nailer. So I was holding the gun and letting them pull the trigger, and Loved it. The 3-year-old absolutely loved the nail gun. That was so cool. What else? Nate, my 11-year-old nephew, he's the one that some of you may recall back when he was 7 came and visited in my last shop, and he turned a pen and really loved that. And came back this time and was cutting up a bunch of the scraps. They just went nuts in my scrap bin. So cool, so much fun. Cut up a bunch of small strips and glued them together, made basically like mini pallet coasters for his dad, something to take back home with him. So that was real fun. And what's really cool is he was at the age to where I was able to say, like, there's the saw, there's some wood, and he said, oh, I need to glue some stuff together. There's the hot glue gun, don't touch the hot end. And he just was over there doing his own thing, and he made something, and it's so much fun, man. So much fun. Man, woman, whoever's listening. So much fun. So what else do I have? 22 projects made in 1 week, most of them CNC based. My favorite one was a big chunk of walnut that I had. It was an offcut of a slab table, and my dad wanted to do something Michigan related. My dad's from Michigan, lived his whole life in Michigan. So we came up with the idea of, instead of making like a map of Michigan, or instead of just carving out Michigan, like a V carve, why don't we do a V carve of the Great Lakes? So we didn't include, I don't think Lake Erie was on there. But basically all the lakes around Michigan. So while we're carving out the lakes, we're actually featuring the state of Michigan instead, if that makes any sense. And it looked really cool, especially visually, because you think of land is, it comes up, right? It's topographical, it comes up, it rises from sea level, and a V carving goes down. So what goes down? Well, the bottom of a lake, right? So it made a lot of sense to do the lakes instead of the state, and I think that one turned out really well. It was something that I think would be a good project idea for someone out there who has a CNC, who wants to make stuff to sell. That it just turned out really, really nice. Elegant, I guess, was the best word to say. I really like that one. That was probably my favorite one that we did. All kinds of other stuff. Weight loss. I've lost 16 pounds in the past 2 months, less than 2 months. I feel so much better. And of course, it doesn't really affect anybody out there, but for me, I feel so much better. I got up to 200, I'm 5'6", right? So I hold the weight a little bit more noticeably than taller people. And I got up to 208, and this morning I stepped on the scale, it was 192. So I feel a lot better. And the only thing I've really been doing is to stop snacking. I'm a horrible snacker. Between bed and between supper, dinner, and I go to bed, I'm horrible about snacking. So try to eat only when it's mealtime. That's number one. And number two, just try to eat for fuel instead of pleasure. That's really nothing crazy other than that, and it's been working. And I just feel so much better. Before I started this business, I was 160-ish, which was at that point the heaviest I've ever been. I've always been kind of a small dude. And then, I start the business. I'll go from a highly physical job running around an apartment complex doing maintenance, always go, 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 to a lot more freedom and stationary time doing computer work and being able to afford delicious food. So I just overate for many years and gained weight, and it's nice to see it coming off. So I feel so much better. Next thing on the list, paper wasps. Who is that guy? The dude from Waterboy. Bobby Boucher. His mom says everything is the devil. Like red paper wasps. Mama said red paper wasps are the devil. I cannot stand those things, and we've had a bunch of them this year around my house. So I've gone through, I don't know, a dozen cans of wasp spray. Because they sting you unprovoked for no reason whatsoever, and it is ridiculously annoying. I've got some in the gable end of my house above the garage, and I thought we took care of them before all the family arrived, but no, they came back to a slightly different location. I got stung right on my back shoulder blade. That hurt like a you-know-what. And then the next day, my sister gets stung right above her elbow. Of course, that hurt like you know what. And then the next day, my dad walks out of my garage and boom, right on top of the eyebrow, just a little bit above the eyebrow, he gets stung. And that was day 3. During that same day, a few hours after he got stung, I walk out of the garage and I feel one like nosedive and whack me in the top of my head, and I feel it hit my head, and I just naturally swing it away. And the stinger, I didn't get really stung, but I felt the stinger and a little bit of burn or whatever on my knuckle right there. Is that showing up? So I got stung and then partially stung, and red paper wasps, man, those are not my friend. I got to get rid of them. So today is Thursday. I've just had a bunch of family come through. Today is the only day break, and then tomorrow and the weekend, my wife's cousin is coming to stay a few days to hang out in the shop and build a couple things. So today's our only break day, and I got to set an alarm for probably in the middle of the night sometime to put up a kind of like a sticky trap, a wasp sticky trap next to where they keep coming around the eave of the house, and then I got to go in the attic and figure out if they've nested in there. Just paper wasps. So yes, today is the break day in between a bunch of family visiting, and because of all the stuff we just did, woke up this morning at like 4:30 and helped everyone get ready. They left at 5 this morning, stayed up till 8ish, and then I just went to take a half-hour nap from 8 o'clock until, half hour later, ended up waking up at noon like, where'd the day go? Crap. Caught up on emails today. It's 4:30 now. I got to get this done in a few minutes, and busy kind of day, but I like it. I'm feeling good. That's always great. Feeling good. Next project video is my dad's tables, like I said. Trying to get that. I don't know if it's going to be this weekend because my cousin's going to be in town. My wife's cousin's going to be in town. He wants to make a yin-yang clock for his, I forget the name, but his instructor, his master, I forget, there's a specific term for it. He's really high into Kung Fu, done a really, really good job, and wants to make a yin-yang clock for a Christmas present for him. And I think we can get that done with some 8-quarter ash, or maybe some 4-quarter ash, and some of that right there. I'm getting better at this pointing stuff. That's Wenge. So Wenge and ash, put those together in a yin-yang clock. I think that'll be pretty interesting. May or may not record that. I don't know. Just has to feel how comfortable he is being in front of the camera. Probably not. I just really like woodworking without the camera on. So there's that. I'm scatterbrained. I'm just trying to get this video done fast. A long list of non-project videos coming. I've got a long list of stuff that I've been wanting to publish for my second YouTube channel, this YouTube channel, non-project based stuff that I've been kind of procrastinating on because I don't really like to do a bunch of that without having project videos or project articles to balance it, but I've got too many, so I'm just going to try and bump a bunch of them through. A bunch of workbench holding stuff, from cool stuff from Taylor Tools. He kind of invented something anyway, workbench holding, shop safety video. So I know there's a few shop safety videos out there, but it doesn't hurt to cover some of the basics all the time, basically, just frequently get into some stuff. I don't think I've ever done a safety video. And also, I've tried a lot of PPE, personal protective equipment. Some of it's good, some of it's not, and give a perspective on some of the stuff that I've tried. Also, there's a bunch of people who come into my shop to work with me, not on camera, like example, family, friends, all this stuff, and trying to teach them here, well, their safety is just as important as my safety, obviously, so stuff that works and doesn't work for other people, it's a good conversation to have. Shop tour, I haven't done a shop tour in here, and I've already been in the shop for a year and a month or so. Which I think the shop tour series, instead of, you do it like every year, like the 2019 shop tour, 2018 shop tour, I think it's more appropriate, instead of saying a year, it should be like shop tour 9 years in business, right? So shop tour after 9 years, because if you just say a year, you don't really get the whole story there. You don't really understand like how long someone's been at it none of this stuff happens overnight, right? So I think that's a better approach to say shop tour X amount of years into the hobby or into the business or into whatever it is that you're doing in the shop, you know. It gives a little bit more perspective on how long things take to get to where they are. Tool talk videos on both the bandsaw. I've been meaning to do that one for a long time. Still common questions, so it's going to be a good place to point people towards. And also the horizontal belt sander that I have, the Hammer HS950, which has been a fantastic addition. Got a lot of cool stuff going on. I got 3 videos for Rockler that I need to do probably this next month, so I'm going to try and get those done. One of them is going to be a shop project. I think one of them is going to be a really nice blanket chest for my daughter. And then the other one, I don't know. I'm going to have to figure that out. And then also I have potentially 2 more obligations with another company. And I think that's it. I'm having a really good day, really good week. Hopefully you guys are as well. I feel good. I hope that you feel good. And I'll talk to you in the next video. See you later.